Hi. I am here today for your daily update, and I promised that I would answer a few of your questions live on YouTube today. And just also to prepare you for the coronavirus channeling itself, I'm going to be doing that tomorrow at 9:30 on patreon.com/Pamela Aaralyn. And I'm doing that because it has something really important to say to us. Nothing fear-based. A lot of physiological talk and science talk about how it affects the body physiologically. A lot of talk about global things going on behind the scenes that are non-fear based. A lot of ways to talk about New Earth, why this is happening and what New Earth will be like, and how we can go within deeper and stay connected. We're going to talk about the reasons for the virus itself from the spiritual perspective. So let's get straight to your questions. I can't wait to see you tomorrow, by the way. I've been so excited that you've come over to Patreon to join me for this channeling. And I hope you love it there. On Patreon, we do hundreds of channelings that are pulled by you. We do hundreds of classes that are pulled by you. It is a very personal experience, and the channelings are always there for recording afterwards for those who can't make it live. But I strongly suggest that you make it live. I have went out and purchased the largest crowdcast possible to hold up to 500 people in hopes that you make it live. So if 500 people show up tomorrow, I'm going to be really surprised and also really honored that you really want to listen to the virus itself and learn straight from the source. That's incredible. Okay. I'm so excited. I've had so much powerful experience with learning from this entity and just nothing fear-based at all. So your questions. Tasha asked, what is the single most effective thing that we can do to keep our at-risk loved ones healthy? Okay, there are a lot of assumptions in your question. The first assumption is at risk. The second assumption is healthy, or its implication of unhealthy. So the only thing that I can say about that is where attention goes, energy flows. Based upon universal law, if we're focusing on someone who's at risk, they are. And I'm not asking you to be overly logical and protective or overly illogical and mindless about being irresponsible and unprotected either. I'm asking you to maintain a certain amount of emotional connection. Remember, the reason for this virus, at which we will discuss in depth on the channeling tomorrow, has to do with disconnection. So if we remain disconnected emotionally and energetically, and we are fear-based about whether someone's at risk or not, that causes a deeper problem and provides more of the outcome of that person becoming more at risk and becoming potentially unhealthy because we're focusing on labeling them as such. So that's going to be just something to know there. I'm not offering any medical advice about contact or no contact or things that the government is telling you to do. That's one way to get flat out kicked out of YouTube. I'm telling you that this virus was caused from the spiritual perspective by energy reasons of disconnection and feeling disconnected. So what can you do? Do you need to Skype your loved ones more? Do you need to be very present with them and put yourself in their shoes to try to calm their fears? That would be helpful. Now, the second problem with the question is that you're making an assumption that you are responsible to do so. All right. What we're responsible to do right now on this planet is to be compassionately connected to ourselves and others. That is the responsibility portion. What we're not responsible to do is to keep people healthy. Just saying, that is a personal, empowered choice. That is the responsibility of that person, not you. So there's only so much that you can do. And sometimes when you advise people about that who are allegedly at risk, they may not feel at risk, right? Or they may feel incredibly fear-based and at risk. Either way, when you give advice, they may or may not be willing to, go there. You know what I mean? So compassionate connection is your answer, whether that be holding some space over Skype or, sending some text, letting them know you're there for them. So I could go into your question more, but I'd need to know, do they live in your home or not? Because YouTube's being really funny with the way that they will and won't allow me to talk to you about this right now. The second question, how are you feeling during these times? I feel like I've been offering, like everyone else seems to be more internal, being quiet, getting within themselves. That's me every day. So I can't say that I've done more or less of that because that's how I am all the time. I can say that I felt this extreme push to serve you, to be more present with you and for you. And that is how I feel. I feel like I am a divine mother who is leaping to humanity. And just, I had a dream about this to answer your question. Not last night, but the night before. This dream will answer your question about how I'm doing. I had a dream that I was walking around in 5D Earth. Everything was green and expanded and beautiful, and I could hear birds. And I saw, like, oh my gosh, sea animals swimming through like the canals in Vienna. I saw things that aren't currently like happening, or if they are, I don't quite know about them yet. I saw clean oceans. I still saw, money being exchanged, but it was different. I saw the way that Earth would be, and it was unified, and it was incredible, and it was somewhat similar, somewhat different than right now. Sorry, a lot of people are texting me, so I'm swiping up notifications. And in this dream, then I saw a big cloud outside of that it felt like it was on the other side of that, like still somewhat there, but in my access, but 5D couldn't see it. Everyone in New Earth, in Gaia, really didn't see it. But I did, because that's the nature of who I am. I see all levels of existence. And I saw it. And Hillel looked at me and said, if you go in there, you'll forget who I am. So please don't forget who you are. And when you need to remember what your actual reality is in 5D, lift your energy, just jump up. He said, just bring yourself up above the clouds and you'll see the truth of what really is when you have forgotten or if you become fearful. So I walked into the clouds, this big, huge cloud, and it closed behind me. And I couldn't find my way. I'm like, oh no, that entrance point is not there. And it went around me really, really fast. Much like, for those of you who watched the Netflix show Stranger Things, it was very foggy, a lot like that. And there were these beings around that looked sort of like the Dementors in Harry Potter or the Demogorgon in Stranger Things, except there were just tons of them. And they were coming at me and coming around me and coming around me. They couldn't quite grasp me, but they were trying. So they would go for other people when they couldn't get me. So I was lifting those other people. I was just grabbing them and jumping up, like Hillel told me, and lifting them out of the clouds, just flinging them into 5D, flinging them up, flinging them up, flinging them up, just by the hundreds, as many as I could. And then I started to kind of forget myself. I started to become afraid. So I stopped flinging them and I jumped up one more time and I saw someone who I thought I recognized at the time, but I wasn't sure. Her name is Courtney. She's an incredible spiritual teacher here. And she was teaching her daughter, and they were doing some homeschool, and they were inside of this incredible window, and I could see the window. It wasn't the house they live in now. It was like this bay window. And, her little daughter could see me. I think her name is Etta. And she was like, Mommy, I see someone coming out of the cloud. I see something. And she kept saying it. And, Courtney was like, well, we need to finish this. Let's hurry up and finish this. I have to get going. And her mom's trying to help her finish her homeschooled work. And she goes, no, it happened again. Oh, no, there it is again. And see, every time I was jumping up, she could see me. And then I would go back down to help more people. And finally, the mom said, well, what is it? What is it that you see? And she goes, I see this big bright light every time. And then it goes down into the clouds again. But there it comes up. Look, there it is again. So every time I was jumping up out of the clouds, she could see me poking my head out of the clouds. But I just looked like light to her. I didn't look like me. So that was a fun dream. And that's how I feel right now, to answer your question. I feel like I'm in this role of wanting to bring humanity out of fear. And fear is the cloud. The governmental systems and the conditions that are rather insane on this planet right now are the demogorgons that are coming around. I seem to be immune to them, but not many people are otherwise. If you're not already experiencing the bliss and joy and quietude of 5D, right? And there were so many people running around. They're like, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my job. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid. And I was just grabbing them and pulling them, just lifting them out of the clouds. So that's how I'm doing. I feel the need to just powerfully connect, okay? and powerfully help. I just feel a call to service right now is how I'm doing. I'm just on fire to serve more and more and more. Hence the channeling tomorrow. And the final question, how does the collective of humanity as a whole feel to me at this time? They feel as if they are kind of frozen. Some of them are frozen in fear and feeling disconnected and lost. They just had everything that they thought was them, identities of money and titles and jobs and safety, which is what society teaches us that we are, that we're not safe and we're not identified as a whole being without that type of safety. So many people are frozen. They don't know what to do in that fear. And then the other part, another 50% of the collective feels calm. And I wouldn't say frozen. They are still, but it's a very active still. They're observing and they're watching and they're going, I'm going to go within to find out what's next. And me, I'm a part of a collective that's actively just helping in any way possible. So that's what's going on. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Insofar as the Yeshua channeling that I'm doing, the Yeshua channeling is called Channeling Yeshua, the 2020 Shift. And it's all about this shift that is affecting us, how it's affecting us, what the different purposes are for different collectives. Yeshua is going to be answering a lot of personal questions and questions that help the collective as well. And I try to keep it as cheap as possible for the first 200 people, but I only have 11 more spaces left for that price to be in effect, because if I keep offering that price at some point, I won't be able to meet my cost or, feed my family. So there's that. So I offered $11.11 for the first 200 people. I have, strangely enough, exactly 11 spaces left right now at the time of this video. I know, weird, huh? And then after that, once we reach 200, it's going to go up to its regular price of $20, which is the most that I can, the least that I can give you at that point to actually meet cost. Okay. It's just something that I have to do in order to keep teaching you, is charge very minimal to cover my costs and to feed my family. My partner and I were talking about this today, and we were talking about this concept that spiritual teachers should not be charging money for things, and it's just like with people trying to guilt me into giving away all of my time for free. And the only thing I have to say about that is I do give a lot of time away for free. This is one of the ways I give time away for free. And I give it away for free on my Patreon page. I give it away on my Facebook groups as well, and here daily for your daily updates. And I also give away a lot of time for free in my daily spiritual communities, helping people there locally. So that's my give back to you. This is my give back to you. The lower prices are the best that I can do in a give back at this time, and I will keep working on it, serving in every way possible. I'll see you tomorrow for the COVID-19 channeling, and I'll see you on April the 12th for the channeling of Yeshua regarding the 2020 shift. You can sign up for that one again at PamelaAaralyn.com. It's right there on the homepage with a banner. But you better hurry up. That price is, that $11.11 is about to go, and then from thereafter it'll be 2020. So see you soon for both. I can't wait to bring forward these messages. I've been working day and night. There's a lot of work that goes into these channelings. So I mean nonstop, when I'm sleeping, when I'm awake, just in sessions all day too, just working incessantly to bring this to you. And I really, really hope from the bottom and top and middle and all part of my heart that it helps you. Be blessed.